Yo, what's good YouTube? It's boardzy, and I'm going to be covering some shocking new releases in this video. Razer has released another Viper V3 Pro, this time the FAKER edition, and I'll also be giving some thoughts on the Lamzu Tachi, a magnesium mouse from Lamzu that is a slightly larger Lamzu Maya, much smaller than the Maya X, and I know many of you have questions about the Lamzu Inca, the ZA13 inspired shape, and Lamzu put a gag order on me. I will get to that in a few days, but without further ado, I'm going to quickly go over the FAKER edition Viper V3 Pro because there's really not much to say, especially considering the fact that I covered the Sentinels edition just like weeks ago. This is a better colorway, objectively. I mean, the FAKER edition, some of you OGs who have been around for a while, you might remember the FAKER edition Death Adder, and this is pretty much line for line the exact same design, except they do have the Razer logo on the clicks now. And yeah, it just seems like Razer is trying to compete with Logitech and Pulsar for who can create the most versions of their own mice. In terms of the coating, this is identical to the Gengar edition, which is very similar to the black colorway. It's not as rubberized and grippy as the white version, and the Sentinels version, it just has like an almost moist, like semi-glossy feel to it, so it's not close to that either. I would say the Sentinels edition is the most exotic coating and the best looking. That's why it's like my favorite Viper, and just all of these units, there's not much to report quality-wise, like side flexing, button quality, wireless signal, like it's just all very solid. So yeah, everything is dialed in and pretty much feels identical to the Sentinels edition, aside from the coating, like I mentioned. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say. The Razer collab price of $180, it's not, in my opinion, worth like $20 to $30 more than just the standard black or white color, but if you really love like the dragon demon design, you like FAKER, you know, this is something that could be worth going for. But yeah, probably won't be the Viper I choose to use going forward. And now for the Lamzu Tachi. This is a magnesium mouse from Lamzu, and here you can see it next to the standard size Maya, which it is noticeably bigger than. Like, it has a wider grip width. It's just overall, I'd say like half a size up from the Maya and a size down from the Maya X. I know I'm just speaking in very general terms. But yeah, it's just not anywhere near as high profile or filling in hand as the Maya X for people who have, let's say, above like 20 by 10 cm hands. So yeah, predictably, the shape was just a little bit too small and less desirable for me to use compared to the large sized Maya X. But presuming the shape works for you, even with the weight and just the price increase compared to the standard size Maya, I feel like it is going to be a very niche offering. The big feature is the hot swappable switches. I'll admit I have not tinkered with that yet, just because I don't have any switches that I feel like would be an upgrade from the transparent blue shell pink dots that come out of the box. I'm not saying these are a perfect implementation. In fact, I think there's way too much like side to side wobble when I'm pressing in and when I'm not pressing in. This does give the clicks like a sort of crunchy feeling, and if you are just playing and you press the clicks from a normal angle, I'm not going to say it's an awful feeling, but it is not distinctly tactile or super consistent. I would say the Omron optical implementation on the Maya just feels much more dialed in, reliable, consistent. So this was delayed for a long time because they couldn't get the quality dialed in, and this first batch is sold out. So maybe the second batch will have an updated design, but it just seems like the hot swap mechanism is hard to work with. And additionally, the side buttons, they have a weird like wobbling issue. And yeah, with the side buttons, it's just this like general looseness to them that you don't even need to press in. Just like when I'm resting my fingers on them, moving the mouse around in Fortnite, I can kind of feel the side buttons moving around. That is not an issue with the standard size Maya, once again, which I do think has a better like side button design as well. When you look at these two mice, you can see that the standard Maya just has a larger surface area. So you combine that with the, let's say, 5 grams lighter weight, just the solid plastic shell. Sure, it is not as like solid feeling. The magnesium, it does feel well built. I will give it that, but it's for $170, I just can't say this really blew me away in any way. And now this is subjective and less important, but I want to complain about the colorway. Like this, the black and red one at least, I don't know about the white and gold, this just looks so dull and lifeless. It's like the red was faded by the sun. I've seen many red items in my time, and this is the least red looking mouse I've ever seen. It just looks so much worse than it does online. It doesn't really have like the Starlight magnesium aesthetic, which is what I thought it would. And yeah, sure, this doesn't matter, but it doesn't help the mouse's case. And yeah, I know I'm not tripping about this. The colors just look way more saturated online, so that is your word of warning. And yeah, the weight, it is only 48 grams compared to 45 on the standard size Maya, but it does just have a more dense feeling to it, remarkably. And I guess that's part due to the weight balancing being a bit more front heavy. Compared to the Maya, which does seem to just have better all-around balancing. And also, there does seem to be less of a flare-out, like curvature towards the bottom on the Tachi than there is on the Maya, so it's a slightly flatter-sided shape. But yeah, let's take it for fingertip. I would definitely not prefer this over something like the ULX medium or small, and I think considering the weight difference, I'll probably be more happy with my ULX Prophecy units than I was with this purchase of the Tachi. So yeah, it just is what it is. The thing with the clicks kind of going without tactility, the more you spam them, it's not an issue that I like, and it kind of leads to a crunchy feeling over time, I've noticed in mice that have similar issues. So yeah, I really can't give the Tachi an all-around pass or say it's worth it, but if you have one and you love it, all the more power to you. Software, firmware-wise, it's using their web-based software. The 3950 implementation is the same as their others, so nothing much to report there. Not the most elite implementation on the market, but certainly passable. But yeah, I just don't feel too strongly about it. I don't know what the last non-plastic mouse to release that I actually liked was. That is a very good question, but a review of the Inca will be coming soon, and that is more on the right track in my opinion. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe. Any other questions, let me know. Oh yeah, the coating on this, it isn't like a rubberized coating. It's also not using the dry coating that the WMouse Strider and Sword X use. I would say, honestly, this is probably closest to the Viper Mini Signature, just in terms of coating, and the build integrity is solid, but there's just not much that this mouse really does. If you see it differently, let me know in the comments, but that is going to be all. Like and subscribe. Peace out.
Damn. Yeah, Avatar.
What?